So, in my last video where I talked about why I think games like Marvel Spider-Man or Marvel Spider-Man 2 should be day one games on PC, I, as anticipated, got pushback. Like I said, it seems like whenever you actually make these videos or say these things, people think you're trying to take away something that they feel entitled to, when in reality, you're trying to provide an alternate solution where Sony can make itself intensely more competitive. Now, the idea that you would even say this makes a lot of people usually either laugh at you or maybe, in a sense, somewhat adamant about the entire matter. Like, I got a comment that I pinned because I made sure to pin this, and this person instantly says, PC gamers feel so entitled. And I laughed and said, I put a little timestamp saying I was anticipating this comment because I knew that was going to come. Another commenter said, it's going to empower PC too much. PC has awesome games that are not available on console. If Xbox games are day one and PlayStation exclusive are day one, everyone might as well just game on PC. There will be no benefit to owning a PS5. Ladies and gentlemen, Xbox games are already PC day one games, and it's already benefiting Xbox. My goal is I don't really care if the game comes to PC day one or not. I'm not really bothered by that. I have a PS5. I invest heavily as a PC gamer in my PC hardware, which I will show you pretty much why you don't necessarily, want to stay in this mindset. We'll look at a few things. But all this talk about exclusivity doesn't seem like it's going to hold too much because the exclusive games are getting expensive to produce. Microsoft seems to be gaining a lot of ground on PC, and many people on console perceive PC like a competitor that is like Xbox, when in reality, PC is like a free zone that you can throw your games on because Steam is a market seller and a marketplace that produces games once in a while, but is not a competitor of PlayStation. In fact, I think there will be a friendly ally. And Epic Games, who actually, according to some leaked emails, were begging for Sony to bring their exclusives to their platform exclusively from Steam, is also not a competitor. So the PC platform is not a competitor to Xbox, nor is it a competitor to PlayStation. It's actually a very, very neutral platform. So I think it's the battleground where this entire competition needs to be fought. And even Sony themselves understand it. And like I showed you guys yesterday, we can see that these games that are coming, most of them are getting highly rated. And PlayStation has already created an entire company called PlayStation PC LLC. So they have an entire publication company ready to take these games to PC once they are ready to do so. Now, if nothing tells you the success that these games are already seeing in regard to something like Miles Morales getting even very positive reviews, but not necessarily hitting it in sales. I mean, look at a PlayStation game getting only 17,000 reviews, when a game that is also on PlayStation that has a PC version is getting way more, like Baldur's Gate 3, 304,000 reviews. Now, I get it. It got a 2-year early access release and all that stuff, but still, you can see what I mean. So if a game like this or games like these are coming out day one or close to release, it opens up the opportunity for PlayStation to be able to compete. Now, here's something that I thought was interesting, and I hope you would pay attention. Someone said, if you had money for a PC, then just invest on a PS5, little bro. I did. Stop whining. Like, it's not like it's not some special machine. You go to Walmart and get yourself a PS5. Like, really, come on. Like, calm down. Many of us, if we actually laid out our PC specs, you would be, in a sense, shocked as to why we even bother, with these PC parts. Because for most of us, it's more like it's a nerd thing. Everybody's got their, little thing that they spend extra resources on. Some people play golf. I don't. Some people go on vacations. I don't. So I will invest those resources in the things that I do like. So it's not really a big deal. And especially, being a YouTuber. So I see that a lot of people are saying, stuff like this. And I saw a comment that I thought was very interesting. This person said, no, it shouldn't. It says, maybe you should just get a PS5 because it will play and look fine on it. And from a business aspect, it will be dumb on Sony's part. The game alone will cause someone to pick a PS5. Ladies and gentlemen, I think this kind of thinking is expiring pretty soon because, again, like I said, this exclusivity thing is not really going to encourage a lot of people. Now, somebody said something and they said, well, you wait 5 years or wait 4 years for it to come out. There it is. It says, if you want to play Spider-Man 2, get a PS5 or wait for the PC port. Seems to me Sony still wants to push PS5 console sales, which seems to be what Sony cares about the most. The reason Spider-Man is on PC is not because of what many people perceive to be the case. The reason Spider-Man is on PC is because the PC player base has been growing since around 2016. I made a video in 2018 when this game came out, and I said, this game will benefit because that player base is growing, because right now, at the time 2016, PC components, because of Bitcoin mining, were getting cheaper. And a lot of people were getting into building gaming PCs. In fact, according to the NPD research at that time, gamers in the US that were gaming on PC were the larger pie, and they were seeing the market grow by billions of dollars. This is why I think Sony is actually coming to this platform, and also because Microsoft is using it heavily and not caring anymore and throwing games on it. People may not know that Game Pass used to have a PC version that was not the same as the Xbox version. The Xbox version was actually better, had more games and more offerings. It wasn't until later that they looked and said, man, why are we doing that? Why are we bothering? And they opened up the whole darn thing. So no more or no longer is the competitor following this exclusivity mindset. I wonder why Sony thinks it's going to last too long, that people are going to spend $600 to play one game that Sony is releasing in 2023. If we run the numbers, it doesn't simply make sense for a lot of people. What's even funny, ladies and gentlemen, I didn't even buy my copy of Marvel Spider-Man. Do you know how I got it? I upgraded my GPU. There was a promotion that was being done at the time that the 30 series were kind of like, there was a big push to get them out the door because the 40 series were coming, and they were bundling all these video games with them. See, many of you don't necessarily pay attention to this stuff because it doesn't concern you, and I get it. But those of us on the PC platform, we leverage stuff like this. So in 5 years, according to this comment, if I want to upgrade any component at the time and they're bundling it, I'm going to get the game for free just like I did. Because that magic of the game coming out 4 years later, 2 years later is gone. The ideal of pushing more copies out of the door is that you are able to actually sell as much as possible initially, or even before the game launches, like in the case of Baldur's Gate 3. So this is not a matter of being entitled, I should get this game, or it has to come to PC. PC players want everything day one. Sony is smart to sell a 5-year-old game to PC players at full price. Homie, if you only knew that we were not paying full price for this game, and we have places like CD Keys where we can buy this Spider-Man game for like $24. Where's that? Here you go. Let me show you. Okay, we can buy this game for $28 and Miles Morales for $22. When the game came out brand new at launch, it was like $45. No one is paying the full price that I know. Some people are, or during the Steam sales, people are paying discounted prices for them because most PC gamers are bargain shoppers. They came on PC because they wanted to save money for most part. Because if you think about things like PlayStation Plus, there are many reasons you come on PC. Your upgrades are cheaper. I know many people might think that's crazy. You'll upgrade for $200 in some cases, or equivalent to the amount of money that you're going to buy a console. You're going to get more value for your buck. All this is a mathematical thing that I'm not ready to get into today, but this is pretty much why I'm making this particular conversation, because the whole industry is changing. It's not hard to see, and I know Sony wants to do it. They just know that a lot of people are going to be rabidly upset and say, well, what's the reason I bought a PS5? But you have to think about this, and this is what I said in my last video. Sales of games drive development of other games. So at the end of the day, it's not the console sales that are really going to directly drive sales of games. They can help, but it's the sales of the games themselves that bring in the ROI the quickest. Think about it. If you go and look at, say, a game like God of War Ragnarok, let's go ahead and go to that PlayStation PC page. Or whatnot. Like, let's look at it. So let's go to PlayStation PC LLC. We'll go to all of the games that they have. Say a game like God of War. This game Ragnarok. Sorry, this is God of War. But Ragnarok sold so far about 11 million copies, and it had a PlayStation 4 version. The PlayStation 4 version basically should have, in my opinion, taken that game to close to 20 million copies by now. But what's going on? Apparently, even the PS4 at 100 million units, plus the PlayStation 5 at over 40 million units, is not seemingly, in my opinion anyways, giving what I think would be the optimal number of sales that the game could get. And a lot of people are waking up, and no longer are they naive now to go buy a PS5. If you've gone PC, back in the day when you were on PC and you could buy a PS4, you probably were like, whatever. But now that they gave you a next-gen console that is already limited and old school in hardware, that you can't necessarily upgrade anything other than the extra memory, I don't think any sane person would make that, decision, in my opinion. So this is why I'm making this comment. I couldn't care less. Sony can keep the games on PS5 for all I care. They'll eventually bring it to PC because there's a market here, and I already have a PS5, and many PC players already have a PS5. We're not saying bring it to PC so that we can play it. We're going to be playing Marvel Spider-Man with you day one. If you want, I can make a video where I can hold up my PS5 here in front of the camera so that you can see it. I drove to a different state to go buy the darn thing. It was a crazy day. Just like many of you, you know, like we're gamers. At the end of the day, I'm not sitting here with all this console war nonsense. It has no, you know, it has no bearing in my whole conversation. Even if sometimes I'll kind of want to, you know, one up these console war guys and kind of check them or clown them, you know, because I tried to throw logic into it. At the end of the day, if you're a real gamer, you actually like to play games and you will go where the games are. You will make the investment nonetheless. But if you actually are a true gamer, you would want for competition to even out. And right now, the playing field is not even. It's not. This is why Sony is looking at trying to, you know, they paid a $3.2 billion consultancy fee, basically. You know what that is? They bought Bungie to come in and tell them what to do with live service games. And Jim Ryan is over here talking about how they want, you know, $69 billion value from Bungie. Guys, Bungie is not going to put out a $69 billion value game in a short period of time, especially in this climate. Are you looking at the climate surrounding live service games? Are you seeing the way gamers are treating any game that doesn't look like it's a purist single player experience or it's a game that's not live service? Gotham Knights is not a live service game. Look at the way that game got treated. Suicide Squad killed the Justice League. The developers took it and ran back into hiding with the game for about a year almost. So the climate right now is really weird. You know, it's really strange to see that what's going to help Sony is, in a sense, being looked down upon or being frowned upon, especially from the people who I think it will help the most. And that is y'all here that are saying that you want Spider-Man to stay on PlayStation 5 for 2 years. You have to think outside the box. Many of you you're my community. You know me. I will tell you how it is and how I think it is. And also, again, remember, because of the changes in the market, like I said in 2018, it's like I'm in deja vu again, guys. I said this in 2018. I was like, guys, this game will so benefit from the PC market. You have no idea. I even said if they wanted to keep it at that time, I was like, man, if they want to keep it for a few years, you know, away from PC or other games, they could do that. But no longer are we in that, we're no longer in that playing field anymore. In military, they say the parade has changed. If nobody's getting it, all I got to do is sit back and just relax and, you know, get my Topo Chico. And all of this is going to eventually align itself. In fact, let me make a bold prediction. We're going to see a major PlayStation exclusive as a PC Day 1 title. And it's not going to be a live service game. I'm going to bet 50 cents on it. All right? So come and collect. I put my money where my mouth is. Peace out.